I usually have an answer to the question, but this time I'm gonna be quiet. This time, ain't nothing like the feeling of uncertainty.
Many of you know the Roblox account to this day being automatically operated to upload hats, limiteds, event items, etc. And if you were to go to your profile right now and change your user ID number in the URL to 1, you'd be greeted to the account's profile. Now, it may look like that account is the first actual user on Roblox, but to come to your surprise, it's not. So, in case you're wondering about its past use, the account wasn't always set up to automatically upload items. It's actually been used to post on forums, create games, and interact with users in-game. Now, the account has accumulated the most value and Robux on Roblox, due to it owning every single item uploaded by it. But that's just basic info behind the account. There's actually much more to this account that I'm going to be explaining to you guys today. So sit back, because I'm going to be running down the complete history behind the account you all know as Roblox. Enjoy the video. Now, let's drift back to the beginning. So, many of you probably assume Roblox to be the first user on Roblox. Well, surprisingly enough, the account is not even close to the first account created. It's actually, surprisingly, the 84th account created. Now, the overall proof behind this actually takes place through a member list via one of the older versions of the forum page. Now, if you were to go navigate to archive.org and input the following page from June 20th, 2006, you will be greeted to the original formatted list of users pre-ID change. Now, as you can see, admin was the first user registered on June 30th, 2004, right next to the QA. But an ID shift that I just realized happened was David Bazuki taking over the first ID, but I have zero clue what happened to admin at the time. Originally, yes, it was the first user. Now, all of these ID shiftings caused a mass deletion of certain ID placeholders and most low ID users, shifting up quite a bit of IDs that they originally had. So, therefore, this caused error pages and false accounts in the database known as creator. So, most of you are probably wondering now, where's Roblox? Well, unfortunately the webpage data only recorded the first 50 users up to King of All Media, which, fun fact, is also David Bazuki. And previously I mentioned Roblox's original ID was 84, so we can't exactly view it here, which is why we are actually going to shift to August 2nd, 2011, the first recorded page of the first Roblox account, ID 84. Now, this page is another accessible archive link that shows the page prior to the account's termination. As you can see on the right of the place's name indicates the only proof that this was the first Roblox account. Now, what exactly happened to this account? Well, between January and June 2007, David Bazuki decided it was in his best interest to name himself Roblox as ID number 1. Well, unfortunately, he couldn't, because at the time, Roblox was already registered as an account, which, if you watched before this, was ID 84. aka him. Now, As of today, this is a basic sum up of the Roblox account's placement. It's not the first user registered, but technically it's the third and 84th account registered. And the third being David Bazuki and the original ID 84 account, Roblox, which now is currently terminated, but it's not for the reason you think. On July 12th, 2020, the account was compromised by the notorious dumbass known as Kieran, and this was due to David Bazuki's old password being compromised. This also led to the comping of many other accounts we will discuss in another video. So now we have cleared up what day Roblox was actually registered. Now we are going to discuss who currently is authorized on the account based on IP sign-ons and who's actually been on the account in the past, whether it was intentional by Roblox or unintentional, and it was something more. Now, as of August 2016, 10 IPs have been recurrently recorded on the account within a data leak that happened around the same time mentioned. Although most of these IPs trace back to San Mateo, California, where the Roblox HQ is located, there are a few IPs that have been active on multiple users in the past, and that's what we're going to be talking about later on. As of right now, the only admin believed to have access to the account is David Bazuki himself. It used to be Shedletsky, Eric Cassell, and David Bazuki, but I'm sure you know both stories regarding them though. Also, in case any of you are wondering, Shedletsky was the original person posting on the forums and interacting with users on the Roblox account. Now, as of 2021, the account is never used, and pretty much all assets you see posted through the account are completely automatic. But now, we are going to be talking about the people who gain access to the account temporarily. As many of you know, on April 1st, 2012, it was pretty much public notice of Roblox being taken over by a fairly large group of users who gain access to the admin panel. The story behind all this is for another video though. Today we are only going to be talking about the 3 users who managed to breach the Roblox account itself, and many other accounts of course. The 3 IPs within the Roblox account trace back to the 3 users Minish, McNoobster, and Feedy. From what I've seen, nothing was really done to the account itself, and if, say, Robux was taken from it, it was reverted back to the account, as the balance still remains around 2 billion prior to August 2016. On April 1st, 2012, Roblox still left 2 forum posts undeleted on the account, which are currently shown on the screen right now. I was only able to pull 1 deleted forum post on the account, unfortunately, but one could assume there was more, as the forums received a huge wave of attacks. All of this lasted about 30 minutes on the Roblox account before they supposedly got locked out of the account. The 3 users were terminated on April 2nd, 2012, and after this, the account remained untouched. Now, that is until December 5th, 2020. The account dropped almost 150 million value, although this wasn't an isolated issue, it was more of a widespread bug. Other users like Linkman99 and Stickmaster Luke lost an absurdly amount of value too. A surprisingly similar issue occurred with people that acquired large amount of badges, where if they had around 15,000 to 20,000 badges, they'd only have 4 pages worth of them that would display. So this led me to believe it was an inventory display issue and something within the APIs. Now, Roblox never disclosed any information regarding the issue. They only reverted the items that were lost with the pages of items. And this includes the account Roblox. Now, speaking of APIs, the most recent activity within the Roblox account happened fairly recently, back in April 30th, 2021. A large quantity of t-shirts were uploaded onto the official Roblox account, a few of which had explicit language, and others being random image memes. Now, most people assume the actual account was breached, but what was actually said to happen was something completely different. So, remember how I said at the start of the video, the Roblox account is automatically operated by top admins? Well, they don't need to sign into the account to actually upload assets. That includes hats, shirts, t-shirts, etc. What they use is actually an endpoint API to post oncoming assets. Therefore, it's uploaded under the account Roblox. An endpoint API allows incoming posts and provides a response. An endpoint is an extent URL for a server, so probably what happened is somebody discovered this URL and took advantage of it without Roblox noticing it was accessible. So this happening, it quickly became visible to admins, therefore it was almost instantly patched. And the t-shirts on the account were removed and content deleted. And many people still have archived posts of the catalog page displaying the t-shirts. It's just another unfortunate event within the Roblox account itself. So, in conclusion, the history surrounding the account is very based on people taking advantage of its power and gaining access to the account. This would make sense because this account's only use is uploading assets at this point and testing new features. So, will the account ever make an actual return and interact with users? Probably not. Will this account ever be hacked into again? Most likely not. Its security is fairly different to the security of average users, and there's layers of two-factor authorization that you won't be able to get into. Anyways, that pretty much sums up the important history that occurred inside the official Roblox account. And I wanted to thank you all for watching. I'm really looking forward to this series, and if you guys are too, please subscribe to the channel. It will take a time to edit some of these depending on who they are, and maybe more has occurred on the account since the making of this recording. But stay tuned, as the next person will be up soon. Goodbye.